Now it's working. Estaba apagado. All right, guys, we're live. Sorry. So yesterday the problem was that I didn't charge the receiver. Today it was just that it wasn't turned on correctly. So anyway, we're live in Miami TV. You guys come and join us. Welcome. It seems that our chat in Miami TV is being weird, so we're gonna use YouTube. Uh, uh, You hear it? We have like a 30-second delay, I think. Tenemos como un delay de 30 segundos, así que sean pacientes. Ahí está. Bueno, ¿cómo estamos, amigos? Bienvenidos nuevamente a Autogeny Live. Espero de que hayan tenido un bonito día, tiempo de interactuar. Hoy sí lo logramos. Sí, estamos bien. El principio medio choto, pero estamos aquí ya. Funcionó. Um, Welcome, guys. Yeah, for some reason I'm not being able to see I'm not able to see the chat for Miami TV. So we're gonna go ahead and stick to YouTube, you guys. We are live. No sé, oye, hola, sí, ya, ahora sí tenemos audio. Faltaba ese botoncito. Bueno, vamos a hablar hoy sobre lo que tan insistentemente quise hablar ayer y no me dejaron de ninguna forma, por más de que lo hice 3 veces y repetí las 3 cosas, sí, por 15 minutos. Pero bueno, fue bonito igual hablar solo por un rato. Muchos de ustedes me decían, Jenny, si a mí me hubiera pasado eso, yo hubiera largado una furia terrible. Digo, sí, por dentro no crean de que no se procesa más que nada como el estrés, ¿no? De que todo tiene que estar perfecto. Pero bueno, sabemos y como siempre le decimos, pues estaba yo ayer solita haciendo todo y es lo que fue. ¿Cómo estamos? Siempre al mirarte me inspiras. Gracias. Says, you always inspire me when I see you. Thank you. Welcome, loves. Bienvenidos, amigos. Bienvenidos. Qué bonito estar con ustedes nuevamente. Vamos entonces a nuestro programa del día de hoy, que es el seguimiento a los sueños. Voy a estar hablando un poco más de inglés. De hecho, me están exigiendo hablar más inglés porque el 80% de nuestra audiencia habla inglés. Entonces, ténganme paciencia si por ahí hago un poquito más corto el español. Y si no, me dicen y los empezamos a traducir. All right, guys, we're gonna do a lot more English. I'm being asked to do more English, and I think 80% of our audience speaks English, so I think might as well do a little bit more English. So the other day we were talking about dreams, things that you can and cannot do through a dream, and yesterday. I tried to go live and there was no audio, and I talked about this maybe for like 15 minutes on my own, talking about dreams and the things that continued. But yeah, that's what happened. So today I'm going to have the pleasure of getting that topic over with. And thank you to our member James, who always sends this topic as well. Thank you. I just want to finish this one at first. Okay. Looking hot tonight. Hello from West Tennessee. Ángel Hermoso, la Ray. Yo hablo inglés, pero no lo escribo, así que adelante. Espectacular. Igual voy a intentar hablar lento. Sé que muchos están aprendiendo. I also know a lot of you are learning English, so it's good to speak slowly. I have to remind myself, Jenny, cool, slow down. Okay, so these are the things that you cannot do in a dream. Esas son las cosas que no puedes hacer en un sueño. El primero que habíamos dicho era tener un teléfono móvil para llamar a casa. The first one was to have a mobile phone to call home. During your dream, you're not going to be able to call home. It's like, wait, I'm seeing this. I want to make sure that I remember. Let me call home and leave myself a voicemail. How cool would that be, right? Like, yeah, just leave yourself a little message and everything is a-okay. So that's the first one that we talked about the other day. The next one is dreams without tickling. This I thought was a little strange. I don't think I've ever had a ticklish dream. Have you had a ticklish dream before? ¿Alguna vez han tenido un sueño cosquilloso? It says there's people there's people that have tickles and others that don't. There's a variety of theories about why some people aren't ticklish, including the possibility that it's related with the form that where we create social bonds. So especially between father and children, or the idea that has to do with the mechanisms, the natural defense mechanisms of the body. Curiously, even though we know a little about tickling, this helps the investigators learn about dreams, because even dreamers, even lucid dreamers, cannot tickle themselves. Why would anybody be in a dream and think about tickling themselves? It's like, wait, let me see if I'm sleeping and pinch you or something, pinch yourself. But you're not pinching yourself physically, so obviously it's not going to work. Okay, interesting. So you can't tickle yourself. Yeah, I can't remember having any dream whatsoever of me tickling myself. Can you? Dicen, el sueño sin cosquillas. Dicen de que esto tiene que ver quizás con los lazos sociales, especialmente entre padres y hijos. La idea de que tiene que ver con el mecanismo de defensa natural del cuerpo. Curiosamente, aunque sabemos poco sobre las cosquillas, esto ayuda a los investigadores de los sueños saber y sacar una conclusión de que no podemos hacernos cosquillas a nosotros mismos en un sueño. Muy interesante. Apúntenlo, por favor. Okay. So interesting. Okay. There's studies about these, you guys. They started tickling people that were sleeping. Dicen, hay estudios sobre esto donde hasta quizás le hicieron cosquilla a las personas mientras dormían. Los investigadores trabajaron con soñadores lúcidos, es decir, personas que eran conscientes de que estaban soñando y podían controlar sus acciones en los sueños, para ver si podían hacerse cosquillas o ser cosquilleados por otros personajes en los sueños. Descubrieron que no solo los soñadores lúcidos no podían hacerse cosquillas, sino que ni ellos ni otros. Está bueno lo del sueño lúcido, es donde intentas sí controlar como que tu viaje, ¿no? Lucid dreaming, it's like controlling your dream, right? And we can even say that dreaming is kind of also for some people like tripping, because you're living in another life all of a sudden in another world. You're dreaming of things that in a conscious level you probably think of unbelievable, but yet when you're dreaming, they're real in your dreams. So I believe that when we're dreaming, we tap into dimensions, and there's all sorts of things and creatures and beings out there that our mind can't even put together to come on into sense. But yeah, you'd be surprised at the things that are out there, you guys. The study that was done in Human Neuroscience magazine says investigators worked with lucid dreamers. This means people that were consciously sleeping and they can control what's happening in their dream. But they cannot tickle themselves or be tickled by others in their dreams. They were trying to tickle themselves or get somebody else to tickle them, and it just wasn't happening. So who knows? Maybe because it'll actually wake you up. I think so, right? Because if your mind believes everything you put in it and everything that you're seeing in that case, specifically in lucid dreaming, then it would just mean that if you tickle yourself, you're going to feel the ticklish and you're going to wake up, right? Creo que también es porque probablemente te despiertes, ¿no? O sea, cuando estás en un sueño y te haces cosquillas, pues tu mente le está mandando una orden a tu mente y a tu cuerpo de que tienes cosquillas, así que te vas a despertar del sueño. No funciona. Dicen, podían encontrar las relaciones de pares y puede ser cosquilla. Descubrieron que no solo, ok, eso la ley. Aunque puede parecer un tema peculiar para investigar, en realidad tiene implicaciones fascinantes. Los investigadores creen que esto sugiere de que cuando estamos soñando aún somos conscientes de nuestro cuerpo y sensaciones mientras nos encontramos en estado de sueño. Que hay una parte del cerebro que minimiza el grado de reacciones a los estímulos. Says this actually seems something peculiar to investigate, but in reality is that it's really fascinating, where the investigators believe that you're suggesting that you're dreaming. You are dreaming, but you're aware of your surroundings in your body. So we're unconscious and awake unconsciously, but we're also conscious at the same time. Says there's a part of the brain that minimizes the degree in which we react to this stimulation. Maybe that's something that can help overcome the next nightmare in which the demons apparently are burning down the world. Okay, interesting. So if you're in a bad dream, right, make sure you remember to tickle yourself, or make sure you remember to think of a mobile phone. But yeah, tickling would be one thing. Dice, entonces cuando estás teniendo una pesadilla de demonios, ten en cuenta de que al mismo tiempo puedes pensar en hacerte cosquillas y te vas a despertar. Esa es buena escapatoria, ¿no? Estás soñando mal, forzate a hacerte cosquillas y listo. Claro, porque el cerebro no sabe diferenciar. So yeah, it makes sense. The brain doesn't know how to differentiate, because when we're sleeping, we're so deep into our mind, right? We're so deep into our thoughts that it's real. So yeah. Buenas noches, qué bueno que te escucho. Ayer no había audio. Sí, ya sé. Ahora sí, ¿no? Profundo estudiar los sueños. Welcome. Saldremos, Alberto. Saludos. Sí, es viernes en la noche, claro. ¿Dónde van? ¿A dónde van a disfrutar? Qué rico. Will you be at Miami Motorcycle Fest? You're the second person to ask that. When is it specifically? I'm going to be there at the end of October, so that's specifically for Fantasy Fest and Halloween, and I'm going to be covering the Rum Festival. So if you're fans of rum, I highly recommend it. It's a really fun environment, adults only, of course, and you have like over 20 to 50 maybe liquor stands only of rum, and you do the tasting. So by the time you finish going around, you can imagine it's fun. Jenny, you're number one telepersona. Mi sueño es soñar contigo. Muy bien, muy bien. Sí, te acompaño. Al fin de octubre vamos a estar visitando Miami para hacer el Fantasy Fest. No se olviden, me preguntan si voy a estar en el evento de motos en Miami. Honestamente, no sé qué fecha es, pero ya varias personas me han preguntado. O sea, que díganme qué día es y con gusto, si estoy ahí, pues sí, ahí estaremos. Estaremos cubriendo Fantasy Fest. Para Halloween todavía no sé qué plan hay. Y luego el Festival del Ron. Así que si les gusta el ron, les digo de que es único, es el Rum Renaissance Festival, es el 11 de noviembre, así que si ustedes están por ahí y quieren ir, es en un convention center donde tenemos por lo menos más de 30 a 50 marcas de ron. O sea que imagínate, empezás en un stand, cuando terminás viendo doble directamente. Y yo que tengo que entrevistar a todo el mundo, una vez me tocó entrevistar a alguien y no me gustó lo que me había dado y me salió la honestidad y bueno, tuvimos que regrabar todo de nuevo. Y yo, sí, difícil cuando uno está en cámara y no te gusta algo, como que, ¿cómo le haces para...? Hay que saber moldearla. ¿Saldremos en mis sueños? Puede ser, ¿por qué no? ¿Cuándo vienes a Chicago? Me gustaría conocerte en persona. Eres muy positiva. Gracias. No tengo muchos planes de estar recorriendo Estados Unidos todavía. Yo creo que en futuro sí, ese es mi meta, ese es mi plan, hacer seminarios por Estados Unidos. Así que sí. Hi, Chicago. What's going on? Greetings once again to California, you guys. Welcome, welcome. Okay, next one. What's the next thing that you cannot do in a dream? Okay, próximo. ¿Qué es lo próximo que no puedes hacer en un sueño? Perdón. Sí. Read a book or any text. Leer un libro o cualquier texto. No puedes hacer esto en un sueño. So, okay, you can't read a book in a dream or you can't read a text. Because that would require your mind to be conscious, right? And be making sense of what they're reading. So really difficult to be able to use both. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. So make sure you don't take any books with you. Okay, is there, read a book or any other text? There's something that maybe will amaze you. Don't read while you dream. Okay. This doesn't mean that you're not gonna find yourself dreaming that you're back in school and you're maybe forced to read Shakespeare, but also means that the signs on the streets, the publicity, signs that you can see, you just can't read them. Whoever says the opposite is not saying the truth. Okay, so apparently they're very firm about this investigation. Why not? There can't be an impossible. If somebody read in their dream, then they read in their dream. What about, like, isn't there people that say that maybe they can find some kind of letter or something and they try to read it and remember it when they wake up? Hard to remember, right? All right, guys. Professional psychology of the University of Harvard explains that the science doesn't read dreams because it's discovered that parts of the brain responsible of understanding and interpreting the language are majorly incentivated during the cycles of dream. This includes the areas that are allowed to establish connection between words, meanings, structures, prayers. This inactivity of the centers of the language of the brain also is a reason by why the majority of people don't dream with language spoken in the same form as their everyday life. So Normally, you dream with words completely invented or phrases that have absolutely no sense, and you remember, if you remember them when you wake up. Basically, our capacity, um, sorry, basically, our, I totally lost it, lo siento, el cerebro. So basically, yeah, nothing makes sense. Basically, our capacity to process a language is also asleep. That's what I'm saying. The consciousness, right? Like you're conscious and you're unconscious, and you're trying to make sense of something, and it's just not happening. I have to debate that. I have to say that there has been moments where I can remember things that I don't know if actually reading, but I can remember like a full-on conversation with somebody. I mean, this happens to everybody, not to a lot of people, where you connect with your grandparents or people that have passed away before. And I can remember phrases that they've said to me, absolutely. So I don't know if that's true, that you dream with stupid kind of comments. Okay. No, I think they do make sense if you're really tuned in. Think of it as like a radio, right? Like we're trying to find the location of the radio, the frequency, so we can tune in and really tune in and hear it out. Same thing when you're meditating. You know, if you're meditating and you're tuning into a specific dimension or frequency, there's some days that you're gonna have a beautiful connection, and other days you're not going to understand anything at all. So I mean, there's a connection even that you can have with people that are on the other side of the world meditating at the same exact time. So your mind just has to be open, and you have to know how to, let's say, balance that energy. Right now when you're sleeping, yeah, it's impossible to really be conscious of doing it, but next time you're consciously sleeping, meaning you're doing your REM sleep, okay, or lucid dreaming like they call it here, try to see if you can have a phrase with somebody and remember it. It's training your brain, right? Es como entrenar el cerebro, ¿no creen? Te amo, hola. Sería una buena experiencia. Chicago es una gran ciudad, gracias. A veces no recordamos nada de los sueños, ¿por qué será? Y yo creo de que, mira, en el momento que nos despertamos, normalmente nos vienen todas las cosas a la mente que tenemos que hacer en el día. Entonces, de inmediatamente te levantas pensando en el trabajo, te levantas pensando en algo que tenés que hacer, o te levantaste de golpe, ¿no? Em, yo creo que esas son las cosas que hacen que uno no recuerde en lo que estaba conectado, porque en realidad es una conexión que estás teniendo con una energía, con una dimensión, una frecuencia. Y mira si hay más información. Dice, no puedes leer ni un libro ni un texto. Y continuamos diciendo, dice, las partes del cerebro responsables de comprender e interpretar el lenguaje están mayormente inactivas durante los ciclos del sueño. ¿Escucharon eso? Hay truenos afuera. Creo que se viene una tormenta aquí en Tulum. Eso incluye las áreas que nos permiten establecer conexiones entre palabras, significados, estructuras, oraciones. Esa inactividad en los centros del lenguaje del cerebro también es la razón por la cual la mayoría de las personas no sueñan con el lenguaje hablado de la misma forma que lo interpretarían en la vida. Soñamos con palabras completamente inventadas o frases que no tienen sentido en absoluto, pero nuestra capacidad para procesar el lenguaje está dormida. O sea, tu consciente, ¿no? Tu consciente, que es el que hace la lógica de todo, pues no está. Está, pero está y no está. Y eso también te pone a pensar un poco de que si tomáramos más decisiones en nuestra vida inconscientemente, pero con percepción, ¿no? Por supuesto, hacia lo positivo, quizás nos iría un poco mejor porque nos dejamos llevar por nuestra energía y no tanto por el raciocinio lógico que nos da una sociedad en la cual vivimos, donde tenemos un montón de virus mentales, como hablábamos el otro día con mi mamá en el programa, y no terminas descifrando nada. So another thing is, you know, those mental viruses that you have. Thank you, Mo. The mental viruses that we have, imagine if we were able to be connected at all times. Somebody said, why do you think we don't remember our dreams when you wake up? And you're thinking about work, you're thinking about where you have to go in the morning, if something woke you up maybe. A lot of times, you know, you wake up inevitably because, you know, that's the time that your conscience tells to your subconscious, hey, it's my turn to take over. Because that's really what happens, you know. You let at night your subconscious takes over, and during the day your conscious takes over. What if we can find a balance between these two, right? And we can make them work together so that you're in this in this dimension and plane, but you're also connected to a higher one, and you're able to get any kind of messages that might be of even life-saving situations, right? So if we were connected somehow at all times, we could trust our decision making more on our perception rather than our logic and common sense. Because remember that a lot of logic and common sense that has been put into our brains is something that has, a lot of times has been seen as what we called the other day mental viruses, which is these patterns of things that you must believe in because your parents taught you or because this is what they told you in school and this is what goes and that's the end, and you're limiting yourself. So it's just breaking free from that barrier of saying, screw this, let me start to teach myself all over again about every single thing that I've ever been taught about. There's some things that you're going to have very rooted, right? That are going to still be with you because you realize that they're good for you. But then there's how many things are there in your life really that your life would be so much better if you could just get rid of them, right? Ideologies that your parents maybe put into your mind, religions, even really negative things, right? Like alcohol, drugs, specific habits. All these habits are actually passed on, you guys, from generations to generations. We are a code filled with many codes of many generations before us. So to be able to uncode ourselves and find our true self, it takes a long time, but you can do it if that's what you really want. Of course, everything is possible. Los sueños son una conexión con algo, es esto. Claro que sí, Ricardo. Thank you, Mo. Yo sueño mucho con Jenny. Qué lindo. Claro que es una conexión con algo. Es el momento en que tú estás diciendo a tu mente, consciente, duérmete. Subconsciente, llévame al mundo de los paraísos. It says your dreams are a connection with something. Absolutely. Your dreams are the time of the day where you're allowing your conscious to go to sleep for a bit, and you're allowing your subconscious to awaken and take you through, Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. So where anything is possible. So yeah, absolutely. Says there's some exceptions with reading. The investigation has also shown that the only group of people that can read in a constant way in dreams are the poets. Because they have a relationship less structured and more creative and fluid with the language, which means that they don't need the intellectual capacity than the rest of the population requires. Who would have imagined? That's insane. So nobody can read in their dreams except poets. That's it. I'm gonna start writing poetry. Actually, I used to write poetry when I was little, more like 14, 15, 13. Didn't we all, right? Didn't we all write at some point? ¿No creen de que todos también soñamos, escribimos en algún momento? Em, qué locura. Dice, no obstante hay excepciones, la investigación también demostró que hay un grupo de personas en el mundo que sí pueden leer en su sueño y son los poetas. ¿Quién se hubiera imaginado? Nos vamos a volver poetas. Dicen, ellos tienen una relación menos estructurada, más creativa y fluida con el lenguaje, lo que significa que no necesitan la capacidad intelectual que el resto de la población requiere. ¿Quién lo hubiera imaginado? Yo no. Pero creo que todos en algún momento de nuestras vidas escribimos, ¿no? Yo escribía poemas de los 13 a los 16 más o menos, y menos, diría como que de los 12 a los 16. Me encantaba escribir, tengo cuadernitos ahí, canciones, escribía canciones. Sí, y ahí quedaron. El próximo, ¿cuál puede ser lo próximo que no puedes hacer en un sueño? A ver, adivinen. Okay, what can be the next thing that you cannot do in a dream? Take a quick guess. Te amo, are you single? Oh, thank you, I'm not. Ya casi nunca recuerdo lo que sueño. ¿Qué significado tendrá eso? Puede ser de que estés un poquito más desconectado con esa parte. Trata de ponerte una alarma 1 hora antes de despertarte y donde tienes un sueño lúcido y a ver qué tal. Porque sí, realmente que sí recibimos muchos mensajes en los sueños. Es importante, por lo menos cuando hay algo importante, pues. Ahora, hay algo que sí es real, me pasa a mí muchísimo en las meditaciones que hago y en los trabajos tántricos que hacemos. donde logro conectarme y hasta vivir en otros lugares, o sea, en otras dimensiones, donde estoy literalmente, casi físicamente sintiendo que estoy ahí. Y tengo conversaciones, enseñanzas, me muestran muchas cosas y en el momento estoy consciente, porque es como una meditación como el sueño lúcido, estoy consciente de que estoy sentada o estoy consciente de que estoy generando y estoy viajando y me repito lo que me están diciendo varias veces, ¿no? Como que lo hablo en voz alta para traerme la información de vuelta y nada, ni modo, cuando vuelvo pues se fue al aire. A veces me vuelven como a los minutos, si me pongo a hablar del tema o algo, me empiezan a venir como flashazos. Pero siempre me han dicho que no importa, porque lo que tú escuches en una meditación o en un sueño, que es lo mismo, tu subconsciente ya lo absorbió. Entonces ahí es cuando pasan los déjà vu, cuando pasan cosas que uno dice, esto ya lo sabía." No, reggaeton. No, no reggaeton. Well, yeah, I used to listen to reggaeton. Not anymore. For the first time in my life, and you're going to laugh at me, today I've listened to Mozart and Beethoven. For the first time in my life, I'm 35 years old. I had a epiphany today with music that it was just right. Like, if we were connected with music of high vibration all the time, and have awareness of how this music moves your energy, then wow, yeah. So it makes sense why the world is all going to shit with reggaeton, right? Thank you, Mo. Oh. Dice, ¿qué tal el reggaetón? Tener un sueño en otro sueño. Un sueño en otro sueño. Sí, that's good music. Hoy por primera vez en mi vida, no se rían de mí, escuché a Beethoven y a Mozart. Ya, obviamente como que hay canciones que uno ya sí, ya la escuché, pero digo como que yo físicamente fui y le pedí a mi Google que me ponga esa música. Y luego frené y como que dije, mierda, me estoy quedando vieja. No, pero en realidad eso lo pensé y después dije, nada que ver. Digo, es increíble cómo siempre que nosotros hablamos de la música, o sea, yo soy muy, hoy en día, esto me ha pasado el último año, de escuchar mucha música que no tiene palabras, o sea, puros instrumentos. Me doy cuenta de que tiene una gran diferencia en el cuerpo de uno. Y hoy que puse esa música dije, wow, ahora entiendo, o sea, las personas que realmente como que sienten esa vibración dentro de ellos que pasa con esta música clásica, es como, sí, te mueve las moléculas de una forma muy, muy bonita. Otras no tanto, no significa de que toda la música de ellos sea en una buena sintonía, es buena música, pero hay unos más que otros que te hacen tener una conexión interesante. Another thing is, it doesn't mean that every single one of their music, connects you with a vibration. But absolutely, I did feel something. Some of the music, some of the songs were like, okay, like, very good, but at the same time, vibrating why it's not so good. So there's all these things with music. Your hair looks amazing tonight. Thank you. I used to listen to heavy metal, reggaeton, and crystal metal. I went to listening for like regular Spanish music, like pop music in my young age. Then, of course, reggaeton. I'd listened to Shakira before she became Shakira. I mean, before she became what she's today. A lot of Spanish music, basically. And then it was, yeah, full on. Then it was rock, like well, no, it was punk. Then it was rock. I never really got to heavy metal. Creed, loved Creed. I guess to listen to some of their songs. It's good to reminisce sometimes, right? But thanks, Mo. But yeah, I have to say that the time where I was listening to that kind of music, like Linkin Park, I did have at that stage of my life suicidal thoughts, which I don't know if this is something that happens to everybody, but I was going through a really difficult time in my teenage years, and then years later you find out that the head of the band committed suicide, and you're like, oh my God, it's all connected. Like, of course, like you only listen to certain types of music because that's how you feel, and it makes you feel like you're relating with something, right? So then after that, I went to pop again, Spanish, and then when I started in like the energy world, which was in my 20s, a lot of house, from like 15 to 20, just house music. And reggaeton. And then now it's just like, at 20 over, it was like, okay, purge of music, of shitty music for 10 years. And then all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to hear anybody sing anymore unless you have like a beautiful voice. I don't care to listen to you. It's more like symphonies, instrumentals, and I feel it. You feel the changing energy in you when you get to those points. It's beautiful. La música cambia las moléculas del agua, forma como mandalas y geometría sagrada. Excelente, sí, totalmente. O sea, han visto cómo uno le puede hablar a una planta también o matarla o hacerla vivir, lo mismo con muchas cosas. Entonces, imagínense lo que nos hace a nosotros. Yo tuve mi etapa de ir desde música latina, punk, rock, metal, reggaetón, mucha música house. Luego tuve 10 años de purgación de esa música. Y ahora, bueno, estoy en puro instrumentos. O sea, no me malentiendan, escucho de todo, pero así en mi casa. De hecho, a veces ahora pongo la cámara hacia el cuarto de mis animalitos en el día hay gente que le gusta ver a los animales y van a escuchar en el fondo bossa nova, quizás algunas palabras, pero son músicas muy suaves. Y bueno, y hoy me tocó Mozart y Beethoven, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Have you ever watched Don Francisco? Oh my God, my grandfather used to love that show. So of course, yes, I've watched it, but not because I liked it, just because I had no choice. When I was over my grandpa's house, that's all they watched. Has visto a Don Francisco? Carlos Santana, really good, amazing guitar. Music changes molecules in water and it forms mandalas, like sacred geometry. Yeah, absolutely. So imagine what it does to you, right? Tito el Bambino, Don Omar, sí, Don Omar, Alexis y no sé quién, Zion y Lennox. No, es terrible. Estuvimos ahí para el comienzo del reggaetón, chicos. Fue genial, pero ya no, ya, como que ya cansó. Se degeneró demasiado, o sea, antes por lo menos hablaban un poquito más del amor en la música, ahora ya es terrible. A ver cómo separamos a la mujer y al hombre, ¿no? Now it's reggaeton. When it started, it was beautiful. It was nice. It talked about love. Now it's just over. It's frustrating. Try to remember the dream to try to find a solution, and nothing happens. Nope. Yeah, it's gonna be frustrating. There is mantras that you could do. I can't remember exactly. Hey TikTok, I can't remember exactly the words of the mantra, but I'm sure if you Google mantras to remember you're sleeping, there is words that you can say when you wake up, and supposedly they can help you remember. I used to try one that I can't remember right now, and I think it did work actually. But yeah, again, I have so many times of meditation in my day that that I don't need to remember what I'm what I'm dreaming. Daddy Yankee, yes. Is there a chance we can hear you sing a song? So, I try to pick up singing no more, like 5 years ago when I launched the Despacito clip, and and actually recorded a song. A friend of mine has a studio in Miami, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it for you." We're like, "Okay." So, and I was so upset that I had lost my vocal cords because of screaming in the nightclubs, for so many years. We did what, almost 10, 13 years, no, yeah, 10 years of visiting nightclubs. And remember interviewing people in places where the sound of the bass and the speakers are so loud and get louder with time. Because there's a trick in the clubs, in case you didn't know. The later it gets at night, the louder the music is going to get. So you talk less with people and you drink more because it also makes you yearn more alcohol. Yeah, isn't that a thing? So, we would always get at the high peak of the nightclubs to do the interviews, and yeah, of course, 10 years later, I would do one club, and my voice would be totally gone. So just now, maybe let's say 5, 6 months ago, I finally got my voice back and I'm so happy. So yes, I'm gonna do a song, not to like get famous or anything with music, but just because I want to do a song at least one time in my life. And I'm gonna look back into the book of the songs that I wrote down. And obviously it has to do with energy. It's gonna have to be. So something, I don't know. So yeah, you'll definitely hear me sing. um, Can I ask why you were depressed? Oh God. Well, that's going to be part of my biography. But in a nutshell, my parents, used to fight a lot when I was young. So there was some issues with domestic violence. So that's something that I guess happens in regular households. But you'll hear all about that once I decide to start my biography, which I've already made the YouTube channel so soon. That's where I remember you from. The Despacito clip. Can you believe they removed it from YouTube? I was so pissed. It had like 8 million views, and they're just like, nope, it's too sexy for YouTube. I wasn't, I wasn't very happy. It lasted years on there, but oh well. I've seen so much worse shit in YouTube. Come on. Yeah, that's why I drink more at clubs. Yes, so it's something that it plays with your mind. In fact, of course, being at nightclubs so many years, you get to talk to the DJs and the owners of the place, and they're like, "Oh no, by 2 o'clock the music will get louder. By 4 o'clock you won't even hear each other." And I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." I'm like, "That's why I'm deaf." So yeah, we would get there at like 2 in the morning because it was when most people were there, and you realize it. Not only are they serving you really shitty drinks and a lot of sugar, so it's worse for your body, but it's gonna just make you more thirsty and more thirsty and more thirsty. But who knew, right? The later it gets, the louder the music gets, so that music penetrates your body, fucks up all your cells, fucks up all your synchronization of molecules, gets you really routed, and then it's just like, okay, now I have control over you. Go drink. Man, yeah, clubs are something else. Uy, uy, uy. Qué bueno que escuchaste a Mozart y Beethoven. La música clásica es la mejor música que podés escuchar. Sí, muy bonito, la verdad. O sea, no digo de que nunca en mi vida lo había escuchado, pero algo que yo decida pedirle a mi Google que me ponga esa música fue como que, ya está, me estoy volviendo vieja. Pero me di cuenta, me reía de mí misma porque me di cuenta que no, nada que ver. O sea, claro, uno empieza a... Yo siempre fui muy musical desde pequeña. Mi papá tocaba la guitarra, mi hermano toca la guitarra. A mí me pusieron en órgano, ¿ok? Yo quería la guitarra y no me dejaron. Pero sí, me preguntaron si en algún momento voy a hacer una canción o algo, y sí, intenté hacer una hace unos 5 años atrás y tenía la voz destruida de tantos años en discotecas y gritando para que la gente me escuche, que es algo que algunas personas no entienden y quieren que yo siga. Y yo llegué a un punto donde, por más genial que eran esos programas, llegué a un punto de que hacía una discoteca en la semana y me quedaba una semana sin voz, porque había roto tanto las cuerdas vocales. Entonces, cuando llegué a querer hacer mi canción, que no por ser famosa en la música ni nada, sino por hacerlo, ¿no? Tenemos un muy, muy gran amigo en Miami que tiene un estudio de música, y sí, vamos, la canción súper linda, encima súper alegre, y no, dije, no la saques porque dice, no, pero se escucha bien, y yo, no. Uno es muy crítico con uno mismo, ¿no? Así que ahora que ya me siento que recuperé totalmente mi voz, de hecho siento mi voz hasta diferente, no sé ustedes que me siguen hace muchos años, sí también, pero para mí sí, siento como que se me devolvió, y nuevamente puedo llegar a notas que en un momento no podía ni hablar, era hablar y me salía nada de la boca, era como que, hola. Is yours to pee more too? What? Do you remember the winery show you did? A winery show? Oh God, I've done so many shows, you guys. I have no idea. Maybe that's when I first seen your show. That's where I remember you from the winery show. I wish I could hug you. Excuse me, Fantasy Fest 2023. Fantasy Fest 2023, yes, we will be there, you guys, on a Friday and Saturday of the week. So the last 2 days. Hola, Cristiano, gracias. Whoa, Emilio Stefan? No, not Emilio Stefan. All right, guys. I was in a seminar. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and MDV. I don't know what that meant. So cool that you listen to Beethoven and Mozart. That's the best music, classical music. Mundane music against spiritual music. I know, right? Can you get rid of your friend? Who's my friend? Who am I getting rid of? Dicen, imagínense si dice la música mundana en contra de la música espiritual. Hay un montón de música que es hasta indígena, que es hermosa, o sea, es escucharla y cerrar los ojos y un tipo de música que me fascina es la de Perú, la que hacen con las flautas, música andina. Fascinante la música andina, cómo suenan las flautas es algo que te hace viajar. Pero bueno, imagínense, uno va cambiando la mentalidad, ¿no? O sea, yo no puedo sentarme hoy acá a hacer un Jenny Live y dar quizás el mismo exacto consejo que di hace 10 años atrás en un Jenny Live en Miami, porque uno va cambiando, ¿no? O sea, uno va creciendo, va madurando, va experimentando y sí, la música es increíble. You know, it is though, it is mundane music. You've been to any music festivals this year? I have not been to any music festivals this year. What's your costume for Fantasy Fest? Okay, so here's the thing. Fantasy Fest doesn't have much costumes. They have like this whole theme, but I've never gone with it because I always try to be as naked as I can. So my costume is always pretty close to the same. There is a costume that everybody told me I should repeat, which is the Cleopatra costume. Yeah, maybe I'll be Cleopatra again. I'll see. But I'm just going there to have fun. I'm not gonna go all crazy for getting dressed for Fantasy Fest. But and I usually do like a really simple body paint myself before we go out in the hotel, and it's good. Master of Divinity. El hecho de que mucha música clásica no sea agradable para nuestro oído no significa que sea mala música o que no valga la pena escucharla. Es importante aprender a escuchar la música clásica. Me contaba a mi mamá el otro día que estuvimos en el programa de que cambiaron los hertz en el cual afinan todos los instrumentos. Yo no sé si eso es verdad. Voy a tener que investigar un poco de ese tema porque sería brutal. O sea, porque hay sonidos y música, ¿no? O sea, hay tonos y frecuencias que nos llegan a nuestra energía de cierta forma que nos hacen vibrar y nos pueden hasta sanar. Entonces, claro, no sería raro de que alguien en algún momento dijo, de ahora en adelante todos los discos que salgan tienen que estar tuneados a esta frecuencia. Y dice que mucha gente dijo no, pero como que, no sé, repito, tengo que preguntarle de dónde recibió esa noticia. So, my mom said the other day that that's supposedly like the infinite frequency, not infinite, I don't know how you call it in English, but the frequency of which instruments are tuned in was changed specifically to get to humans in a more disrupted way. Remember that there's specific sounds, you guys, that maybe even your ear and conscious don't pick up, but there's specific frequencies that tap into our energy so strongly that eventually it can, I mean, you can heal through music, you can heal through sound, absolutely. So it wouldn't be weird to believe that maybe the elite decided we're gonna change your we're gonna change your frequency of tuning all instruments so you guys don't continue to rise. Ay, ay, ay. Thank you, Moho. It's no need. Thank you. What about guys? What about guys getting nearly naked for Fantasy Fest? I'm usually pretty naked everywhere and love Miami for the reasons and New Orleans for Mardi Gras. Fantasy Fest seems like a nice scene I should make. I don't like when people go like 100% naked. You at least have to put some body paint on or a wig or a hat. I mean, something. You have to wear something. It's really annoying when you go to Fantasy Fest. And every time this is happening more and more, if this happens again, I'm not going to go back because every time you see less people dressed up, it's like, come on, guys. Like it's like you're voying. You know, if you're there to be a voyeur, is that how you say it? No, it's not appreciated. I like interviewing people that spend hours in their costumes, you guys, making their costumes. Cambia el ADN. Claro. Qué profundo que estamos hoy. Says, yeah, of course, because then that frequency can change your DNA. That is some freaky shit. Yes. How's the weather this summer over there? Lots of rain. We are in Tulum right now. I'm hearing thunder, but it's good. I love fall weather. Me too. It's the best, isn't it? Okay, the next thing for the dreams, I really want to get over with this topic. We have 10 minutes left. Okay, we're going to talk about this fast. So, the next thing that you cannot do in a dream is win a zombie battle or win a marathon. There you go. Or escape zombies. So, what? You dream of zombies and they're going to kill you every time? Oh, God. Okay. When was the last time that you didn't only maybe run in a dream, but also just ran really fast? Running in dreams usually implicates a sensation of running in slow motion, almost like if you were going through water. Including to the people that are running that run regularly in their lives. That's why they did another study. I mean, isn't there more important things to do? No, of course. I love dream studying. This is amazing stuff. Why does this happen, right? And they got some answers. The brain is active, but our muscles are paralyzed. This means that it's a conflict between signals. So you're interpreting like a movement, like a slow motion movement in the world of the dreams. Okay, so our brain picks up that we're running in slow motion because our body isn't physically doing it. Makes sense. ¿Saben por otra cosa que no pueden hacer en los sueños? Es correr de los zombies o ganar una maratón de zombie. ¿Han soñado con zombies? Yo he soñado con zombies, qué loco. Estamos en vivo de lunes a viernes a las 8 de la noche. De hecho, habíamos empezado a hacer media hora de programa, pero como ayer no hicimos, hoy hacemos la hora entera. Dicen de que aparentemente como el cerebro, estás quieto, ¿no? Entonces tu cerebro está entendiendo de que tiene que hacer una acción física, sin embargo el físico no se está moviendo. Entonces, por eso siempre que corres en un sueño parece que corrieras en cámara lenta. Porque hay un conflicto de interés en tu cerebro. O sea, te están confundiendo, amigo. Psychologists, even though the brain is active, the activity between brain waves is slower than when we're actually awake and doing the physical movement. So that's why it feels like we're going through water. There's a suggestion that says that when we dream, the brain is building a world and scenery that are developing around us. In fact, en lugar de simplemente, and not just processing information received from the outside world. So basically, our dream is our creative part, right? Our creative subconscious, and our conscious, when we're awake, it's the one that has us stuck in this reality, in this dimension. And yeah, for a lot of people, it's like they're stuck in a matrix. Para mucha gente es como estar en un matrix, ¿no? O sea, cuando duermen, el subconsciente está creando una realidad, ¿no? Y cuando tú estás despierto, tú estás absorbiendo información exterior y eso es lo que crea tu realidad. Entonces vivimos en dos mundos completamente diferentes. En un momento se prende el consciente, en otro momento se prende el subconsciente. Otra cosa, crear rostros totalmente nuevos. Another thing you can't do in a dream, create dreams that are completely new. Imagine if you're dreaming of a stage and that in front you're being the protagonist of a rock concert. There's a multitude of people in front of you. Have you seen these people in some time in your real life? Moving it forward, is it possible that our mind is dreaming about a completely new face, or are these people that we have seen before? Remember, our mind catches everything we see consciously and subliminally. So, yeah, that's also kind of freaky. It's like we're creating people in our dreams, right? And then maybe there is people that you dream with. Like I was saying yesterday, like I've had people that say to me, "Hey, I dreamt about you today." And I'm like, "Oh, great!" It's happening more and more every often. So I hope they're good dreams, you guys. But yeah, I think it's normal. Our subconscious just has a lot of things. Or maybe you watched a movie, right? Or maybe I'm the last thing you see before you go to bed. I don't know. Dicen, crear rostros totalmente nuevos. ¿Te imaginas que estás con una multitud enfrente tuyo? ¿En algún momento has visto a estas personas o estás creando rostros con partes de personas que has visto consciente o inconscientemente? Qué loco, ¿no? O sea, estamos soñando y estamos creando personajes. Sin embargo, a veces sí soñamos con personas que conocemos en la vida real, ¿no? Esto tiene que ver también con el subconsciente. Si, por ejemplo, gente que me dice, soñé contigo hoy, bueno, si acabaste de ver un Jenny Live, si conectaste mucho conmigo, pues sí, te llevas el recuerdo a la cama, ¿no? A ver, ¿cuántos más hay? Oh my God, es que son un montón, los vamos a tener que seguir la semana que viene. There's so many, you guys. We're going to have to continue this topic next week. Let's see. What else are you guys saying over here? We're live, guys. We're live in Miami TV. Our only chat for today is the YouTube chat, okay? I take it that you're married. I am. If you like classical music, try Tchaikovsky, okay? Especially Swan Lake Ballet. I don't like classical music. Today was the first time I've ever put classical music. I've merged, I've merged in the past months from more chill music to bossa nova to instrumental to voices of the wind. But yeah, it's there's a process happening inside of me. Sorry, guys, my nose itches. Enrique always yells at me, 'cause, not yells, but it's just a way of saying. Enrique always nags at me because I not pick. How would you call it when you like, go like that? My nose, and I'm like, It's itchy. What do you want me to do?" It's not nice. Felt like aliens were abducted. What? I've been in a dream where I was thinking I was awake, but I could not move. It felt horrible in the end. I managed to uh, wake myself up, but kept my light on after that. It wasn't nice. It felt like aliens were abducting me. Unfortunately, that happens, and unfortunately, it can also happen that you can get abducted while you sleep. It's happened to me several times. Not that I got abducted, but leaving my body and be needing to scream, like "Help me, help me!" It happened a lot to me when I was younger, when I was around like 13 years old. And I remember just being in this house that was like a totally possessed house. It was such a negative place. And there was this damn couch, really old couch, where I would fall asleep for my naps. And my mom would call me for lunch, right? Like, kids, the meal is ready or whatever. And I would hear her really, really far away. But I was very far. I was very far from the couch. And I would try to scream, "Mom, Mom, help me. I can't go back," until my brother or somebody came and shook me. And I would be like, "Can't you see we're calling you?" And I'm like, "Where was I?" Like, that was really freaky. So, there is something that happens, unfortunately. And when your energy is really vulnerable or light, and there's entities around you, not good ones, right? Like negative entities around you, they can absorb your energy. And they can do this little by little, or they can fully abduct you, and that's when you just die in your sleep. So, a lot of people that have passed away in their sleep, not from like age or a heart attack or stuff like that. But I mean, like when it's a sudden death, we call it. It's a muerte súbdita, when you just stop breathing. But it's not like a shock of a heart attack or anything. You just fall asleep and never wake up. Yeah, and that continued to happen to me till maybe a couple years back, where even getting into the world of energy and everything, times where it would be dangerous for us to do energy work because of the negativity that's around, I would fall asleep, and I would consciously come back and say to Enrique, "Hey, Enrique, they're trying to take me again." And he's like, "Oh, get out of bed, come here." So I'm like, now it's like totally normal to me. It hasn't happened to me in a while, but you just feel like something's just sucking you out. That's not good. If that happens to you, um, well, there's things you could do, yes. But most importantly, it's just protect yourself and your energy. Make sure it's strong. Just like that in Miami, a little closer. Yeah, no, we're on YouTube, guys. No topless here, sorry. I was dreaming about floating in space, a total peace. What do you think that means? That's good. That means you're connected to a dimension where there's peace. Good for you. Dicen, yo tuve un sueño donde pensaba que estaba despierto, pero se sintió horrible. Al final, o sea, no me podía mover. Al final simplemente pues me desperté, pero desde ahí dejé mi luz prendida. Em, a mí me pasaba mucho eso cuando era pequeña, específicamente de los 12 a los 16 más o menos. Vivimos en una casa en Uruguay, en Tacuarembó, una casa rentada, me acuerdo que era. Y esa casa era horrible, o sea, tenía una energía de fea. La casa era bonita, vieja, ¿no? Pero tenía una energía tan, tan fea. Perdón, chicos, me pica la nariz. Me cosquillea. Hablamos de energía y me cosquillea la nariz, como el genio de la botella. Y me acuerdo que me acostaba a hacer una siesta antes de comer en un sillón que había ahí detrás de la cocina y mi mamá me llamaba para comer, chicos, vamos a comer, está el almuerzo, porque iba a la escuela de 7 de la mañana a las 12 del mediodía, de ahí teníamos creo que 2 horas de descanso y volvíamos a la escuela hasta las 5 de la tarde. De mañana era en español, de tarde era en inglés. Muy chévere el sistema. Em, bueno, en fin, y yo sentía que algo me jalaba hasta tal punto de que me hundía tanto en el sofá que yo quería gritar, mamá, mamá, ayúdame. Y nadie me escuchaba, era gritar y que nadie, y cada vez más lejos, hasta que venía mi hermano, hey, levántate, no dejes que ir a comer. Y yo como que gracias. O venía alguien y me levantaba, pero eso me siguió pasando, no tan bravo, fue en esa casa que me pasó muy bravo. Luego me pasó, les digo, hasta hace 5 años o menos, quizás hace un año atrás, acá en una cabaña, haciendo también una siesta a las 8 de la noche y siento que me pasó varias veces, que me están llevando y yo conscientemente, porque ya sé lo que está sucediendo, lo peleas y listo, pero conscientemente digo, che, Enrique, me están tratando de llevar de nuevo. Bueno, dice, vení, vamos a comer algo. Despertate ya de una vez por todas. Dice, no van a poder llevarte, no te preocupes. Y yo, pero sentís literalmente que alguien te está chupando el alma del cuerpo. Y bueno, ahí es donde va la fuerza de uno, ¿no? La fuerza energética en decir no. Ahora, hay veces donde podés tener esa experiencia de fuera del cuerpo y es bueno. Pero estando solo y eso, muy difícil, chicos, tengan cuidado. Gracias. YouTube won't care if it's an accident like your old streams. I got you, I promise. Yeah, okay, great. I like when Don Francisco on the skits would go herv. Would go herv? What does that mean? What else? Es un milagro que esa música estridente y alto volumen que escuchaste varios años de las discotecas no te haya producido pérdida de audición. ¿Podés creer? Es que en un momento yo me compré hasta un coso de plástico donde creo que lo usé en algunos programas donde me lo ponía y que cómo la estás pasando y era no era una bocina, o sea, era un cono de plástico hecho para eso, ¿no? Pero sí, mi sonido, mi sistema auditivo es muy bueno. Yo escucho todo. Estando antes acá en la selva, que tenemos 2 gallineros, siempre a 100 metros de distancia, yo dormida con las ventanas cerradas y si hay un ataque o algo a las gallinas, me levanto al pedo. ¿Qué mapache o algo? Y dicen, ¿cómo lo escuchaste? Y yo, no sé. Y puedo estar dormida que lo escucho. A mi gatito que una vez un mapache que lo atacó, también estaba durmiendo, lo escuché gritar, salí. Y esos animales se van cuando uno grita. Entonces lo salvé, pero de milímetro, un segundo más y moría. It's a miracle that the amount of years you were with that loud music, it says, didn't ruin your audition, like your earlobes. Yeah, it is actually. I've recently begun to see people's aura. It is freaking me out a little bit, kind of overwhelming. Awesome! Congratulations. That is not an easy thing to do, but that is something everybody could do. So amazing, amazing, amazing. How do you see mine? See if you get the right color. Well, I guess on TV is a little difficult, right? I started seeing colors a while ago. Never with my eyes open, though. I am now in the stage of training my eyes to be able to meditate with my eyes open. That means that you have that connection anytime you want. It's not easy to do, but you can do it. You can get there. I mean, I've been doing this for 15 years, you guys, so I've gotten to really high points of being able to control my energy. By the way, it's Friday night, you guys. Let's call it an hour and a half for Fridays. Oh, God. Before I forget, we have a free positive energy seminar on Sundays, okay? These are nude, you guys, just so you know and you don't freak out. The ones that we're going to start doing personally are not going to be nude anymore so we can reach more people. But online, that is still my strongest way of reaching you, okay? So Sunday at 10 a.m. Miami, yeah, Miami time, I think it is. We're gonna put a timer up on Instagram. The Instagram is Mission, like mission, and then energy in Spanish, so mission energy. And we're doing around like an hour show. Now it's not a show. We're doing like like a 50-minute meditation where I'm guiding you through the meditation, first absorbing the energy and then closing your eyes. So if you're home and you can be natural in nature, clothes, no clothes, however you want to be, then I ask you to join me. These are completely free, and you can get so much out of them, you guys. So try them out. Um, it's all instruments are tuned into A440 hertz. Otherwise, musicians couldn't play together in tune. That's what she said. She says that's like the regular tune, but then somebody said they needed to all change to a different frequency. Um, so I'll look for those news, or if you want to look for it, yeah, let me know. Prayer. I got to church at that time. You go to church at that time? I'm so sorry. Em, Dice, hoy podemos hacer 1 hora y media. Ah, qué va. Bueno, chicos, no se olviden, el domingo, hola Humberto, gracias. El domingo a las 10 de la mañana me dicen, yo voy a estar en la iglesia. Bueno, tenemos nuestra propia iglesia. A las 10 de la mañana tenemos nuestros seminarios gratis. Estos seminarios, recuerden chicos, yo y mi esposo, hace 15 años que trabajamos con energía. Me encanta compartir con ustedes la energía que hemos podido llegar a canalizar para que la usen, para que les ayude. Es súper importante, siempre les hablo de la energía positiva, sin embargo no hemos tenido los tiempos para hacer los seminarios constantes. Ahora, llegando a Miami en octubre, voy a intentar hacer un seminario personal hasta una determinada cantidad de personas, creo que 30 o 40 personas, porque es el primero que hago con mucha gente en un tiempo. Así que si están interesados, estos seminarios van a estar completamente vestidos, no tiene nada que ver con el desnudo. Sin embargo, los que hacemos en línea, sí, yo estoy sin ropa. ¿Por qué? Porque es la forma más rápida y más fuerte de llegar a ustedes, ya que yo emano a través del cuerpo, ¿ok? Entonces, se los recomiendo, es una meditación alrededor de unos 40-50 minutos. Yo los voy guiando, empezamos con una respiración, empezamos con los ojos abiertos para que tengan una conexión física conmigo, ¿ok? Y una vez que tengan eso presente, la energía presente, cerramos los ojos y los empiezo a llevar a través de un tipo de relajación, para que sientan la energía que absorbieron, para que sientan cómo usarla, cómo manipularla, para que nos enfoquemos en algo que deseamos, para que se vuelva realidad. Y bueno, eso será el domingo. Almost. Thank you. All right, guys. Now that you have a better understanding of these phenomena, how do you explain that you can't move and touch from someone can unfreeze you? Christopher. What? Ahora de que tienes un entendimiento más de este fenómeno, ¿cómo puedes explicar de que no te puedes mover o tocar de alguien, pero alguien te puede desfrizar? Oh, that someone can unfreeze you? Because you have no strength over your body. But if somebody brings you back, you're back, you know? But if nobody brings you back, you could die. Absolutely, you could die. Ah, ya entendí. O sea, sí, nuestros seminarios en línea son al natural, por un don que yo tengo. Pero bueno, guys, also on October, we're about to leave. Saludos, Andrew, bienvenidos. Ya nos estamos yendo. Les estaba justo diciendo in November, sorry, I might, it's still in the plans. I still have to do the publicity for it, but I might do the first seminar in Miami. So if you're in Miami, if you're interested in participating in these regression workshops that we're going to be doing, literally to absorb energy and release some traumas that you might have and leave, I'm not going to say brand new, but better than before when you came in, then these are the kind of workshops for you. These are going to be regular, you know, no nudity here. And that way we can reach more people, and because unfortunately nudity is still a taboo for a lot of people. I know the secret to unfreeze. Ooh, do you? Muy bien, mis amores. All right, my loves. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm glad today we had a good audio, one woman show, score. Muy bien, el show de una chica, bien, hoy salió bien, ¿no? Salió bien. Hoy sí tengo tacos, como ven, no estoy descalza. Nos vemos en la próxima. Do you think meditation can remedy body pains? I've had back pain for a long time. Huh, ask some of our members. Guys, our subscription is going to be ready tomorrow again in MiamiTVHD.com. We have members, one in particular, our friend James, suffers from arthritis. Every night that we do the seminar, he focuses the energy towards that pain, and he says it's a miracle, it just goes away. So remember, it's just your mind and how open are you to receive, and you can use it for anything you want. It's like magic, I'm not kidding. La energía es como magia, chicos. ¿Crees de que la meditación puede ayudar dolores de espalda? Absolutamente, sí, sí, sí. Tenemos un miembro, nosotros recuerden de que en miamitvhd.com, and don't forget to subscribe to miamitvhd.com, que sufre de artritis justamente, y cada vez que terminamos uno de estos programas nosotros tenemos una meditación al desnudo para nuestros miembros de Miami TV. Y uno, bueno, de los que comparten, porque no muchos comparten sus experiencias, pero uno de ellos que está hace más de 10 años con nosotros sufre de artritis y dice que cada vez que hacemos el seminario lo enfoca en su dolor de artritis y se va, dice que es algo milagroso. A la larga, pues recuerden de que todo depende de su mente y si creen en la energía y si quieren que les ayude, ¿no? Por supuesto. Muy bien, chicos. Sorry, it was a typo. How do you explain that you can't move until you're touched by somebody else? The website is missionenergy.com, you guys. El website es misionenergia.com. Besitos, buenas noches y nos vemos en la próxima, mis amigos. See you Monday. Nos vemos el lunes. A little turn. Well, I can't turn. I'm connected. Oh my God, what if I walked out? I would have pulled my hair. Hold on, guys. Estoy conectada. Me acabo de dar cuenta de que estoy conectada.